Hey guys, it's Tim, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited. As we're here, August 20th, 2018, with a Monday Night Raw review, the night after SummerSlam. The show ended pretty well. I mean, the way it ended kind of made me want to see next week's Raw, and that never happens. But Nick, what's going on?
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this Monday Night Raw review, recap review, breakdown, analysis, thoughts, prayers, reactions, every other phrase that I fit in there every week, and for some reason you guys think it's funny. For August 20th, 2018, taking a look at the chat, we've got Jamie Graham, Asteroid Nuke says the boys, Skippity Pip, TVP83, KKC, that's very close to an offensive username, Kyle Watson, Israel Russell, Andrea West, Soja, Fully Clutch, Rodney Shepard, Herman, and so many more, all 122 in counting of my closest friends. If you guys do want to text into the show and give your thoughts on tonight's programming, you can text in at 510-906-1341. That's
It's actually on the screen.
But yeah, it's actually on the screen this week. We didn't do it for the recaps, which, I mean, that's fine. It was really just the recap. But it's 510-906-1341. Text in your thoughts. The show will be reading those live on air. And I got a DM today.
Oh, okay.
That was like, hey, I texted in. I don't know if you guys read it. This is my number. And I was like, yeah, we did read it on air. So whenever you guys text in something, I will always read the area code in which it was texted from. So
Right,
if you texted from 510, I'd say, so from the 510 we've got, and then I say the thing.
Yeah, we don't want to give out your full phone number and then people start texting, spamming you.
From the 510-242-8434. I shouldn't have read that. I'm sorry. Anyway, let's go ahead and break down what happened on a pretty, a good episode of Raw.
Oh, I don't know if I'd call the whole episode good. But
Better
there was some,
than most days.
Oh, way better than most. I mean, there was things that I didn't like, but I mean...
that's going to be with any show.
Exactly. So Raw kicks off with Roman Reigns coming out, and the crowd is booing furiously. Like, they're just... Any kind of boo they can make. Roman gets in the ring, and he's just like, I'm the champion. I'm out here to defend the title. And they're just, you still suck. You still suck. You still suck. Michael Cole
I
also,
suck, but I got the belt, baby.
Michael Cole also stated that this was the most watched SummerSlam in history. So,
I feel like they say that every fucking year. You know what I mean?
The most watched Rumble, most watched WrestleMania.
Yeah. Someone from the 973 just says Shrek 3 was bad.
Also,
Not
if you guys are going to spam the text line, we can ban you from the text line, so just a warning.
I like someone from the 860 just says, guys, I was looking forward to training because of Nick's reaction more than the show. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
So Roman's out there, and he's like, I'm a man of my word. I said I was going to beat Brock Lesnar. Crowd still saying that you still suck. Reigns then said he wanted to do what he promised and defend the Universal title, and he would do that tonight. He said on any other night, I would come out here and just put it on the line. Open challenge, basically. But there's one man that I think deserves this opportunity. And that's the man that won this title here in Brooklyn and never got his rematch, Finn Balor. Crowd went nuts.
So, here's the thing. He never got to invoke some kind of rematch clause, did he?
Who, Finn?
Yes.
Nobody has as Universal Champion.
No. He doesn't get a rematch clause.
I mean, if you really want to look into it.
Because he never lost the title. He was never beat. And this is what Luca in the Discord reminded me that he's never been beat.
So back in the day there was a deal where if you lose the championship, you get a rematch. If the person you lost it to is still the champion when you try to get your rematch. Now, my whole thinking is Finn never lost the title technically. Mm-hmm. So because he was stripped of the championship, he should just be granted an automatic rematch since he never actually lost. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have to say, well, I have a contractual clause because he never lost it. So he didn't have to
the
play
argument
that.
he could make is, I never lost this belt.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. And so Roman just says, I want to face Finn Balor. I think he deserves a shot. And Balor comes out, and Balor's like, looking right at Roman, and Roman's like, You want to accept? And they shook hands. As they shake hands, Constable Corbin comes out. Corbin said, this match isn't happening. This is not how things go here on Raw. Corbin said that Balor should not get an opportunity because he basically no-showed their match last night when the Demon showed up instead. Like it's two different people.
Whoa, that's such a crazy cool argument. Thank you.
He then claimed with the Demon.
Hold on.
Okay.
Thank you, Kristen, for the $2. I thought Brock Lesnar will be at Raw tonight. We will get to that. Thank you for the $2. So hey, Jake, no. Don't tell me what to do.
So Corbin basically said, my match at SummerSlam was scheduled to be with Finn Balor, the man. The Demon showing up is basically breach of contract. I was like, okay. Corbin also said, because of all your pomp and circumstance and your smoke and everything, I was very distracted and could not hear the bell ring, so I didn't know the match had started.
Except when he said, the ref kept saying, you guys ready? I'm going to ring the bell now.
You've got to face him. No.
You got to face him. No.
He then said, tonight I want to face Finn Balor, the man. And Kurt Angle comes out. Kurt Angle interrupted and said, that match is not happening. Tonight I will make this Universal title match my main event. He said, but Corbin, you will have a match with this man. And out comes Bobby Lashley for a 12.5-minute match.
Way too long. What's up with Corbin getting long-ass matches lately?
I have no clue. So basically, Lashley was in control until he leaped onto the apron and Corbin kicked his leg out from under him. Corbin clotheslined him, leading into a commercial. Coming back from the commercial, Lashley made a comeback using a clothesline and a spinebuster for a 2 count. Eventually, Lashley kicked out of a backbreaker and hit a variation of the Dominator for the pinfall.
Dominator.
Very long match that really just was a match.
Very, very, very long match.
So then backstage, Kurt Angle played favorites again because Paul Heyman approached him and said, hey, Brock Lesnar wants his rematch, his contractual rematch for losing the championship. And Angle was like, I don't think I should give it to him. And
well, that doesn't matter what you want.
And he goes, or he should have to wait a very long time. And Heyman goes, okay, well, I'm not saying he wants that rematch tonight, but we do have Hell in a Cell coming up. And Kurt goes, it's a cold day in hell if I give him a rematch then. And the crowd's chanting, boring, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And Heyman's just like, really? And Angle's just like, no. He's like, or, as they say here in Brooklyn, forget about it.
Yeah, stop. That's not funny.
That was it.
That was a bad line.
WWE then congratulated themselves on being more active on social media than Celebrity Family Feud last night.
Anyway, we're going to go to the text line because they have more interesting things to say than Kurt Angle ever does. So, we've got a text from V615 saying, why no call-ups?
It doesn't have to happen right away. It can be next week. Remember when the Iconics came? It was like 2 weeks after Mania. Or when Sandy came, it was a month after Mania.
The 847 says, I want Brock to kill Roman again. Sure. For sure. Let's continue on here.
All right. So Corbin then was backstage. He blamed Angle for the Demon showing up at SummerSlam. Said he was pissed he had to face Lashley tonight. He was not ready. Angle said that his job wasn't to do what Corbin wanted, but to do what was best for the WWE Universe. Corbin said, Stephanie's here tonight, and we're going to have a talk.
I really like what TJ Fritz just said in here. Tonight was just a PR Raw.
What do you mean by PR?
Like
personal relations?
Public
relations? No, not really.
Whoa, we'll talk about it at the end because I do kind of want to make that a little bit of a point here. So let's continue on because I like that idea.
So they plugged Triple H versus The Undertaker at Super Showdown. Said Triple H was going to come out and talk about his match later on in the night, which fucking was great.
He's so good.
So then they had a 6-woman tag team match. It was the Riot Squad taking on Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Ember Moon. Babyfaces were all over the Riot Squad early. Bayley was in control after the commercial break. Ruby made a tag and gave Bayley an STO on the outside to take control. Bayley eventually made a hot tag to Sasha, who ran wild on Ruby. She then nailed double knees in the corner, but Liv Morgan broke up a pinfall. Moon then gave Morgan a tornado suplex off the apron. Bayley tried to fight off Sarah Logan, but ate a clothesline herself. Banks gave Logan a Meteora through the middle and top ropes. Ruby then cut her off and hit a Riot Kick for the victory. 10-minute match that saw the Riot Squad yet again defeat Sasha Banks and Bayley with Ember Moon this time.
Yeah, definitely. Someone from the 253 just says, do you think the Shield is back together?
Yeah.
Back together to set up a Dean Ambrose heel turn.
They're all heels, but we'll talk about that at the end.
I know exactly what they might have in mind.
So next up, probably second best thing on the whole show. If you want to say the end was the best, then this would be second best. Some people may say that this Triple H promo was the best thing on Raw because it was phenomenal.
Yeah, no, this promo is hardcore.
Triple H comes out to an amazing babyface reaction, NXT chants, everybody's loving him. He said NXT blew the roof off the joint, and SummerSlam was another level. He said he was a fan, just like everybody else here, and he would work until the day he dies to make sure that this is around forever. He said weekends like this make him want to rip his suit off and once again become the game. And hell yeah, that's what's going to happen in Australia. He said Vince called him and asked him to wrestle in Australia, and at first he said no. He was then asked to face The Undertaker. However, it wasn't for the reason you would think that he was going to face The Undertaker. He said he reminisced on their Hell in a Cell match. Shawn Michaels was the referee, and it was supposed to be the end of an era. He talked about all of them at the top of the ramp after the match, soaking it all in, HBK chants from the crowd, and he said he was remembering that moment. But it also changed all three of those men at the same time. After that happened, Michaels went away. The streak died. Triple H was no longer a full-time in-ring competitor, and he didn't want to sound like he's a bitter veteran or anything, but he says this era was something special. Crowd started chanting, "You still got it." He said he decided to call Vince back and say, "I will do the match." He would lace up them boots and become the game again, as long as The Undertaker would pick up his hat, put on those gloves, and become the Phenom one more time. He said they may have ended an era, but it's about to come back.
I wonder how likely it is that he would, be a little bit more active in the ring now. Or do you think this? Jake Fox says, can you guys read chat? We always do, baby. $5 from Chris McNutt. I know this is not SmackDown Live, but Charlotte Flair has the most pay-per-view wins with 24 of any female superstar. What do you guys think? I think that's awesome. Congratulations. I think that's great for her. That's very nice. Seth and Dean are going for tag belts. Well, if he's holding that IC title, I'm going to go ahead and assume that Seth would have to drop that. Or fuck it, let him hold both. Why not? I seriously thought he would announce that HBK was going to be added to the match.
I thought the same thing.
That would have been kind of neat.
That would be like Sean's the referee.
Oh yeah, even if he announced him as the ref, I think that'd be interesting. Elsher says no call-ups to me too soon. Yeah, just a little bit too soon.
I mean, it doesn't have to happen right away.
Yeah, no, definitely. So let's continue on here a little bit.
Jake Frog says, what editor do you use?
I was just going to type it. I
could just say it. Premiere Pro and Adobe After Effects.
Off topic a little bit.
So, speaking of Dean Ambrose, we had Dean Ambrose with Seth Rollins taking on Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre.
Great match.
Really good match. Went almost 10 minutes, right?
Makes you realize just how much Dean did. You know what I mean?
When he was around before?
Like you kind of forget how much of a kind of a dedicated workhorse style guy that he really is.
Yeah.
And I like that a lot about him because, I mean, he's always seemed to be dedicated to, his competitiveness and in-ring work. And I like that a lot.
So they did a lot, during this match, a lot. The announcers kept saying, Dean Ambrose's time off was good for him. It looks like he's gotten himself in the gym more, and he's changed up his style as he seems more powerful.
Dude looks like he just got straight out of jail. He's fucking ripped. I don't like the haircut too much, but he looks ripped.
So, for this match, Ambrose with his sleeveless T-shirt. Seth Rollins still had the gold boot on, but he was wearing a new Dean Ambrose T-shirt.
I thought that was awesome too.
McIntyre,
I like that idea.
McIntyre would try and get involved early, so Ambrose confronted him. Rollins pulled him away, but the distraction allowed Ziggler to dropkick Ambrose off the apron. After commercial break, Ambrose killed Ziggler with 2 clotheslines. Ziggler tried a pin with his feet on the ropes, but Ambrose kicked out. He then hit him with a fall-away slam, and this is when Cole kept talking about how Dean Ambrose looks so much more powerful, and he's changed up his moveset. Ziggler then dodged a charge, and Ambrose went shoulder first to the ring post. Rollins confronted McIntyre. Crowd popped when McIntyre took off his jacket, and they thought that Rollins and McIntyre were going to go at it at ringside. Rollins then attacked McIntyre, but Ziggler cut him off. Ambrose made the save. Then Rollins gave McIntyre a suicide dive. Ziggler went for a jumping DDT, and Ambrose countered with the Dirty Deeds into a pin.
Yeah, that Dirty Deeds ended up looking really sick. I like the Dirty Deeds a lot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you really think about it, Mick Foley used to do that move too. It's just a double underhook DDT.
If you think about it, Drew McIntyre used to do that move all the time.
You're not wrong. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, it's a double underhook DDT is like one of the most common used moves. And it's one thing that I've always hated about professional wrestling is using a common move as a finishing move.
It's like if Shawn Michaels came back, how can you use a super kick as a finisher when people kick out of the super kick 20 times in matches?
Exactly. Someone from the 646 says Dean needs gold. I don't blame him, man. It'd be cool if he had a belt. We've got a message from the 812 says so is Brock Duns because he's scheduled for tonight according to the Broccoli Center website. The Broccoli Center.
Barclays.
Same thing. All right, Joe Volte. Well, it was fun having you in. Never come back though.
Huh?
He's just being a dickhead.
All right, so we didn't see.
Oh, like the spear. The spear's a setup move now, and it bothers me.
No.
Then again, Edge's spear was not good.
No, people that use the spear typically use it as a finisher.
Kairi Sane,
Kairi's...
Charlotte.
Okay.
That's two fucking examples right there.
True. I don't know. I mean, anyways.
The only guy who uses it as a finisher is Roman.
True.
Can't say Goldberg because he's not here anymore.
I mean, well, no. I would say Caitlyn, but who knows if she's making an actual comeback or not.
Let's continue on.
Anyways, Balor's backstage. You see him getting ready for his match when a shadow casts over him. He looks up, and it's Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman's got the briefcase, and he's like, I just want to wish you good luck tonight and warn you that I've got this. Like, okay.
Fair enough. That's respectful.
He's just basically like, I'm not going to come at you from behind. That's Braun Strowman's whole thing. What happened to him? I'll tell you in a minute because he got come from behind.
I don't like the idea of him saying. I don't like the idea of him saying I'm not going to come up from behind, but I'm going to come to you after you just had a hellacious match.
But he would not give the referee that briefcase to cash it in until he knew Roman was able to get to his feet.
I guess that's true.
And then he kicked his knee out from it. Well, anyways, I'll talk about that in a minute. So Elias was in the ring. We saw Elias before the commercial, talking to stagehands. Basically, you couldn't hear what he was saying, but you can tell by his gestures that, hey, he's like, hey, make sure this guitar doesn't on me this time.
Yeah.
That still made no sense, but Elias was out there.
Just a weird spot.
The crowd was loudly yelling, walk with Elias.
I have a question.
What's up?
PWTs or PWT?
What do you mean?
For the command. Is it plural or singular?
It is singular.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
So, he's out there, and he said his doctors warned him to stay out of Brooklyn because the people around are bad for his health. He wanted to perform anyways. He said he's got a new song. He told them to shut their mouths, and he knew it was difficult being around New Yorkers. And out comes the New Yorker himself, Kurt Hawkins.
Hey, so you know what I wonder?
What's up?
Hey, unplug and replug your mic. Mute yourself, unplug and replug your mic, and then unmute yourself. Another babyface and say you're still a babyface in yourself. Sergio says, should the Shield ever be in a War Games match? I think that'd be interesting, but I don't know how you'd get it to work on the main roster if you're doing that with NXT.
No, they're not gonna do.
Oh, fucking headphone warning, guys! Jesus Christ!
Huh?
Whenever you unplug and replug, you get louder than shit.
I forget about that.
Heads up, folks. That's why I said mute yourself once you plug it back in.
Well, never mind.
No, okay, I get what you mean.
I thought I did, but it didn't. Anyways. No, they can't do War Games on the main roster because it's an NXT thing. They're not going to do it, both.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So, where was I?
We just finished talking about
Kurt Hawkins came out.
Kurt Hawkins coming out.
Kurt Hawkins comes out, and Elias, he said that he could have Elias's number. He's lost over 200 matches, but Elias can be that one victory. Elias called him a loser and said he would die a loser, just like everybody else here. Elias told him to leave. Hawkins began to walk away, and then he turns around and goes, no, I want to face you now. I'm challenging you to a match. And Elias accepted the minute-and-a-half match. Graves said that Hawkins was some creans, not from Brooklyn. Hawkins got a couple of near falls in with a schoolboy, but Elias quickly hit the drift away and pinned him. He's now at 0-219.
So what I want to know is I want to get, Tim, not only your opinions, but I want to get the chat opinions on, and you can text it into 510-906-1341. Who is Kurt Hawkins going to pin for his first ever win? Text in your response to 510-906-1341. Kevin Nash, yes, MLW is doing their own War Games, but that's not WWE. So, Chris from Next says, Tim, on one of your tweets, you said, quote, both the Bella Twins are part of the Raw roster. Is it true that they're back?
Well, see, here's the thing. It was more of a question because they said the entire Raw Women's roster is standing around the ring for Ronda Rousey, and both Nikki and Brie were out there. So it was more of a question type thing, like asking, hey, are they, like, part of the Raw roster now or what?
Everyone's saying Roman, Baron, whoever's IC champ. Jesus Christ.
Let him beat his old brother, Zack Ryder.
I think Zack would do the job.
Zack jobs to everybody.
Yeah.
Anyways.
His matches with Mike Kanellis on Main Event have been great.
I saw one of them.
They've been really good. I miss Zack Ryder.
So we then see Titus walking backstage. He comes up on awkward. This is a little awkward. He comes up on Apollo Crews and Dana Brooke. Dana Brooke's like kind of got her hand on Apollo's arm, and like Titus comes up. I've been looking for you guys all day, and they're kind of like,
Holy shit! Someone from the 951 says Hawkins should beat Ryder.
So Titus comes up on him. He's like, I've been looking for you guys all day, and they're like, we're working a strategy. And Dana goes, I think I know how we can beat AOP, but Apollo's going to start the match. He's like, oh, okay. And it looked like he walked up on them flirting, but I don't know if that's the case or not.
Could be the story.
So Dana Brooke says that she did the research, she's done the stats, Apollo should start the match, and Titus started the match.
$2 from Jacob Fritz. You guys think Elias will get stale in a few months? I'm not going to lie, unless he starts getting some meaningful stuff, he may get stale in a little bit. It may take a little while for him to get stale, but much like Velveteen, you need a big win, and you need something very major before you start to just be old news. Contrary to what Road Dogg says, and I'll say this every time, wins and losses do matter. And I really want to point out this text message from the 649. Says Apollo needs to face Seth for that belt, even if Apollo loses. That would be a great fucking match. Those two have faced off before. Very, very good. Your mic's messing up again, Tim.
What?
Get a new goddamn cable. For the love of God, they're like $4.
Hold on.
You should beat Vince Russo. That'd be hilarious.
All right.
Strong Style Ninja. You can't say that. You can't say that.
Yikes.
It's a warning.
All right. So they come out here for this match, AOP versus Titus Worldwide, and basically really quick squash match. Again, Titus started, even though Daniel Brooks said Apollo should, and they hit the last chapter on Cruz for the victory. Crowd was completely dead.
So I do want to say, I do want to say You know what? Never mind. Let's just continue on. I got a little distracted by something, so let's just continue on.
Text message?
Yeah, let's just continue on. Because we know it's not, because it's not even from where he's from.
Yeah.
Idiot. Fucking idiot.
All
the
right.
503 is an absolute moron. Let's continue on, though.
So,
Yeah, rip your... I'm sorry for your guys' ears. He'll
Huh?
get a new cable one day.
Is it still messing up?
Yeah.
Hold on a minute.
No, you're good, you're good.
Okay.
You're fine. I'm just... When you come back, it's really loud.
Well, I turned it down.
Let's continue on here.
Anyways, so where was I? So they got all the women out there around the ring, and Stephanie comes out. Stephanie goes out there, and she was just like, we got a new Raw Women's Champion last night. We've seen all this stuff with Ronda Rousey going forward and everything that she's been able to do, and it's all because of me. She's like, I brought her in here. She's my protege. And it's like, what?
Fair enough.
And she was like, I want to introduce, and out comes Ronda. Ronda kind of cuts her off, and Stephanie's got this big old smile on her face. Mm-hmm. Stephanie offered a handshake, and Ronda ignored her and grabbed a microphone. Stephanie tried sucking up to Ronda, but it wasn't working. She wondered why Stephanie was even in the ring, while the rest of the women had to stand around the ring. And she said, that's not what that's not what we should be doing here. Girls, you can, get up on the ring, get up on the apron. Ronda being like super, super nice. And so all the girls get up on the apron, and Ronda said Stephanie was not above them, and Stephanie shouldn't try to put them under her. Rousey then put over Natalya as a cornerstone of the division, and the crowd started chanting for Natty. She then put over the match that Banks and Bayley had in Brooklyn, saying if it wasn't for your guys' match 3 years ago, there probably wouldn't be a women's evolution for me to even be joining. Rousey then went on to say, oh, and by the way, I'm not Brock Lesnar. I will be here defending my title every night.
I'm really tired of that line.
Stephanie,
I don't know why. It's just starting to get on my nerves.
You're not Brock Lesnar. You're different. You're more special. She then pointed out that she basically, according to Stephanie, broke Alexa Bliss's arm. Stephanie warned the roster that Rousey's only here to break their arms and be better than them. And Rousey said she didn't plan on breaking their arms, only for them that deserved it. She puts the microphone down. Judo throws Stephanie and puts her in an arm bar. Nobody comes to save Stephanie. Stephanie finally taps. She finally taps. Ronda lets go, and the heels at ringside kind of try to help Stephanie get out of the ring. All the baby faces, including the Bellas, get in the ring, and they pose with Ronda.
I did like Ronda raising her hand, and then for some reason the Bellas did as well, as if like, why?
Because they got to be center of attention.
I don't know, man. Let's continue on.
Like, why were they out there at SummerSlam after the match?
I just want to say from the 503, we show our faces every Friday for the Fightful Wrestling Weekly, of course, the segment that Fightful and Pro Wrestling Unlimited do in conjunction, because we're best of friends and we're good at what we do.
You responded?
Yeah, why not?
All right, so
I'm not feeding the flames. I'm just promoting our content, baby.
So Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel come out. B team, go, go, go.
This theme was so over in
Yes,
fucking
it
Brooklyn.
was.
I still like Battle Scars.
It was. Oh
All right,
my
guys,
God,
B
over.
team, go, 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 or Battle Scars. Battle Scars. Let us know. This isn't Fortnite.
So they come out and they were just like, we won last night. We're still the Raw Tag Team Champions. We haven't lost since becoming a new tag team. And then Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder come out, and it was Scott Dawson versus Bo Dallas. Dawson won very quickly with a rampage. Crowd was kind of into the match, but not really.
Yeah, they were more into the theme than the match, basically.
Before the match, the B team was like, the B, it stands for Brooklyn. And this match is for all of you. And Coach goes, wait, have they even been doing this long enough to be dedicating matches? Like,
they've been doing this shit. That really just gives a nice, fuck you to Bo Dallas's NXT title reign, or Curtis Axel's fucking, granted it's not fucking phenomenal, but his IC title reign. Did you know that, or do you remember back when Curtis Axel and Big E at one point were IC champs?
The third.
Just a crazy thought to have. What a time. What a time.
So then, as the Revival looked like they were going to leave, Curtis Axel said, hey, Dash Wilder, I want you now. So it was Dash Wilder versus Curtis Axel. Match was very quick again. He won with a gory bomb. Dash Wilder, that is. After the match, Dallas reminded the Revival that they were still champions. And it was meh. They were like, you guys may have beat us tonight in singles competition, but we're still the Raw Tag Team Champions.
So next week, I'm assuming the rematch is?
Maybe.
No, not next week. I think next week's another singles match, I believe.
But they switch it up?
I believe so.
Anyway,
say, I want to say another big thank you to Kristen McNutt, who never skimps on the fucking money she donates to us every week. Thank you so much. I don't like what Stephanie's doing because she is not on Raw every Monday. She names Constable Corbin acting GM of Raw. We're going to get to that because that's fucking hilarious.
732, you've been blocked from the chat, from the text line.
I didn't see what they said. I'm going to go take a look. Let's continue on, though.
So we then have backstage. Roman Reigns told Renee Young that he had no reservations about defending the title tonight. And she was like, well, are you worried about Braun Strowman possibly cashing in? He's like, no. He said he was going to beat Balor, send him to the back of the line, and he wasn't worried about Strowman. He said this is his yard, and he's going to defend it. That's basically it.
Yep.
So then we see Stephanie in the back. She's got Alexa Bliss, for some reason, standing next to her, Constable Corbin, and a trainer checking her out. And eventually she was like, you can go. And Kurt comes out. Or comes up.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just like, before he could say anything, they were just like, both Corbin and Stephanie was like, where were you? You let Ronda do this to me. You allowed this on this show. And that's not what a GM should do. And Corbin's just like, ever since you took over, this show has just been a lot of craziness. He didn't say craziness, but I can't remember exactly what he said. It was basically, he's like, this show's been out of hand. And Stephanie was like, you've been the GM for a year and a half now, and you still haven't got control of this. Maybe you need a vacation. And Kurt goes, whoa. No, that's not what I need. She goes, not a permanent vacation, but you need to take a break. And Constable Corbin, as of right now, you're the interim general manager of Monday Night Raw.
Okay, so before we go on
GM.
about this, Chris McNutt with the $5. Stephanie gave Kurt a quote vacation, the same freaking thing to Mick Foley. Now,
well, they fired Mick.
Yeah, they did, didn't they? Anyway, so here's what I want to say. I wonder what the time off is for. I wonder what he's doing.
You know what it's going to be, right? Here's my prediction. Eventually.
This is not going to lead to a match between him and Corbin, right?
Yes, it will. For the general manager spot.
He said chaotic. He said it's been chaotic.
Chaotic, that's right.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
And Angle disappeared, and they sent out a weird tweet that said @Triple-H.
It's
EXSF. I tried to Google to see if that's like some slang Twitter like abbreviation, and it's not.
Fair enough.
Kurt had a stroke.
Yeah, Kurt just had a stroke on air.
So then we have Roman Reigns versus Finn Balor, 19.5-minute match. Balor did not come out as the Demon, as many people thought he would online. A lot of people were like, oh, he's going to come out as the Demon at the end of the show and face Roman Reigns. It's like, probably not.
That would have been cool, but that would take a shit ton of time to get all that.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think he had enough time. Now, like, the segment with Braun could have been pre-taped, but that thing at the beginning of the show, it probably takes him more than 2 hours to get all that paint on.
Oh, I think they did a video once of him putting it on.
I've seen a couple of videos.
You know Goldust puts his own paint on?
So the Usos used to.
God, remember when the Usos wore paint?
Well, they used to do each other's. But yeah, Goldust does his own. They got a bunch of those videos of Goldust doing it.
You may have to unplug it. People are asking you to, but I don't know if it's true or not. We'll wait. Do it. He already did it. He did it before I even finished the goddamn sentence.
All right, so
headphone warning.
Oh no, I turned it down. So we have Roman Reigns versus Finn Balor. Roman was in control early until Balor hit a dropkick out of the ring and hit a flip dive. Go to commercial break. As we come back, Reigns was in control, and then Balor hit a Pele kick. Balor stomped away at Reigns, and the crowd cheered loud for each of them. It seemed like They were more for Balor, though. Reigns came back with a one-armed sit-out powerbomb for a 2 count. Balor avoided a Superman punch and then hit an inverted DDT for a near fall. Balor followed with a sling blade, but Roman came right back to his feet and hit a Superman punch for a near fall. Balor countered a spear into a roll-up for a 2 count, and Reigns followed that up with another Superman punch, but it looked like he kind of missed, and they still sold it like he hit it. He then set up for a spear, but then Strowman's music hits. He comes walking down the ramp. As this happens, Roman is distracted. Balor hits a sling blade, drop kick into the corner, and missed a coup de grace. Roman then hit the spear and pins him after a good 20-minute-ish match. Cole starts freaking out. He's like, oh my God, Strowman's going to cash in. Strowman's going to cash in. Both men are laying in the ring, exhausted out of it, and Strowman gets in the ring, and he's yelling at Roman, get up, get to your feet. And Roman gets to his feet. He gives the referee the briefcase. Roman's still trying to get his wits about himself. And as soon as the referee tells JoJo it's on, JoJo's like, Braun Strowman is cashing in the Money in the Bank. He kicks the knee of Roman Reigns, so Roman falls down to the mat. Now here's the thing you got to remember. Before the bell rings, the Shield music hits, and out comes Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins in full Shield gear, and the bell never rings.
If you want to reference Alberto Del Rio and CM Punk.
True.
If you want to reference, it's exactly what happened like that.
So Seth and Dean come down. Dean's on the side of the ring where the ramp is. Seth's on the side of the ring where the announce tables should be. Where they actually were announce tables because they still had everything set up from SummerSlam. Anyways. And so Dean gets up on the apron. Seth, looking like the biggest heel ever with like this just smarmy look on his face, slowly slides up onto the apron. And Roman backs up, gets in the corner, puts his hands out, kind of like the Rock's Just Bring It, but he does it with both hands, and he's like, come at me, bro. And
I like that.
Comes at him. He runs at Roman Reigns, and as soon as he does, Dean and Seth run in, and they triple team him. He kind of gets a little bit on the three guys before eventually they spill out to ringside, and they attack Strowman. So Dean throws the top off of one of the announce tables. They're setting him up for the triple powerbomb as Roman goes to lift Braun for it. Braun kicks him in the gut. This pisses Roman off even more. They start beating down Strowman. He's like, lift him up now. He does his hoo-ah. Picks him up, puts Strowman through an announce table. They do the Shield pose to close out Monday Night Raw, and they look like big frickin' heels.
Yeah, thank you for the $2 from Chris McNutt. The Shield turn heel and Braun babyface. Well, I'd like to say that the Shield is now. They've got to be the heel faction again. They have the heel gear, the theme and everything's back. I think that's a pretty clear example. Reminds me a lot of like the Undertaker or like the Ryback spot where they first kind of got together. Right. The exact same looks on their face, kind of the same actions. And I like it. I think they probably realize if we're gonna get over as champion, let's just put him with the Shield and make him a heel. People will like it, and I think that's fine. I think that's totally fine. Them being heels, it's character development. It's furthering stories. It's fun. They did a great job as heels before. Seth and Dean are great heels. Roman can really fit the role of he could be the tweener if he has to. And that's fine.
This really made me think of the original Shield that were heels, not the Shield that came back last fall that were just supposed to be these three guys that were cool together, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm. These were three guys that had a clear goal in mind, and that's to be the best. And I like that a lot.
Basically, my two buds are going to do what they can to make sure I keep this title, whether it's playing within the rules or not.
Yeah, for sure.
But remember, Strowman is still Money in the Bank.
Yeah, so Strowman still holds the Money in the Bank, and we will still be live tomorrow.
Well, wait, you said you want to talk about the whole PR Raw, because I didn't understand.
Yeah, it was a nice little PR statement saying, hey, we've got this women's stuff going on with Ronda Rousey. Right, but it was a very plug heavy Raw.
But they do it every week with their whole our YouTube channel has more views than the or has more subscribers than the NFL, NASCAR, football, NHL, all this combined, or
NFL is football, Tim.
Yeah, I know. I just fucking
you blanked on 3-letter abbreviations.
Anyways,
oh God. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this edition of the Raw Recap. You can follow me on Twitter at PWU_Armstrong. You can follow us on Twitter at PWUnlimited. Facebook at facebook.com/ProWrestlingULTD, right here on YouTube. Be sure to check out our good friends over at Fightful.com or at Fightful Online on Twitter. Tim, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at TimmyBuddy.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in. I really appreciate it. We will see you guys tomorrow after SmackDown Live for the SmackDown Live review and recap show. That's what we love doing. Wednesday for the live show. Thursday, we got not a ting. Friday, we got the weekly. So it sounds like a good plan this week. Thank you guys so much for... Oh.
Wednesday show. Very big announcement where you guys can... Something cool for you subscribers, can win some prizes.
Oh, and everyone's saying Tim get a new mic. He'll have a new mic by Wednesday or Thursday.
Hopefully.
You will.
Okay.
I made sure. Thank you guys so much. Have a good night.